Sometimes, the most entertaining show you'll see inside Disney World isn't put on by the cast members. Year after year, guests continue to provide a constant stream of wild, viral, dumb incidents that make headlines. In this episode, I'm spilling the tea on 10 of the dumbest things guests have done inside the most magical place on Earth. We'll count them down one by one, and along the way, I'll share insider tips and cast member secrets to keep your visit magical. If you miss even one of these and try it yourself, you will absolutely, most definitely wind up escorted out, banned for life or worse, on the news. Let's dive in. Number 1. The Tree of Life Climber. Our first offender decided that Disney's Animal Kingdom needed more action. In May 2025, a guest literally climbed up the 145-foot Tree of Life at Animal Kingdom. She scaled the faux baobab trunk above a waterfall while wearing white sneakers and a backpack. Nearby, TikTokers could be heard gasping, "That's a lifetime ban." And they're right. Walt Disney World's rules clearly state that engaging in any unsafe act that impedes operations is grounds for removal. What makes this so wild? The Tree of Life isn't just a backdrop, it's an engineering marvel, with 102,583 artificial leaves on over 8,000 branches. This concrete and steel structure even houses its own theater. Imagineers carved more than 300 animal sculptures into its roots and trunk. And at the base are tranquil Discovery Island trails filled with otters, macaws, and kangaroos. Climbing it isn't just dangerous, it disrespects the craftsmanship and the wildlife habitat surrounding it. If you want close-up photos of the carvings without getting banned, follow the Discovery Island trails. These peaceful paths weave beneath the tree's roots and offer the best views without crowds. Grab a coffee at Creature Comforts and take your time exploring. You'll spot hidden animals carved into the bark and, maybe, catch the Winged Encounters macaw show soaring overhead. We don't know what happened to our climber afterward, but comments on the video speculate she's banned for life. Number 2. Drunk and disorderly at Port Orleans. Next up is a cautionary tale about overindulgence. On October 15, 2024, 41-year-old Christine Neal from North Carolina became so intoxicated at Disney's Port Orleans Resort that staff asked her to pack up and leave. As she argued with her mother, she shoved the 68-year-old woman into a wall, leaving a bump the size of a small egg. When deputies tried to escort her out, she refused to walk, kicked her legs, spit at officers, and hurled insults. During the car ride to jail, she kicked the patrol car door, unbuckled her seatbelt, and even attempted to open the door. Good Lord. Jail staff ultimately had to taser her, and she was charged with aggravated elder abuse. Disney is one of the few theme parks that serves alcohol in all 4 parks and at dozens of resort lounges. It's easy to indulge, but cast members are trained to stop service to anyone who appears intoxicated. They will call security or the Orange County Sheriff's Office if a guest becomes belligerent. If you plan to drink around the world at Epcot, pace yourself with water and meals, and never take your frustration out on your family or cast members or anybody else for that matter. Nothing ruins a magical vacation faster than spending the night in the county jail. As wild as this story is, it pales in comparison to what happens when a guest decides that Disney's hydroponic gardens are a free buffet. Number 3. The Cucumber Heist. In 2021, a video went viral showing a woman on Epcot's Living with a Land boat ride jumping off the moving boat to grab a cucumber. TikToker @MarthaLorena posted the original footage, which later reappeared on Instagram. The woman stepped out of the boat, reached for a cucumber in the greenhouse, then stumbled and fell trying to climb back in. Other guests called out, "Martha!" as someone else hopped out to help her. Not only did she risk injury, she violated Disney's rules against leaving ride vehicles and engaging in unsafe acts. Cast members warn guests to keep arms and legs inside at all times because this ride's boats can't stop quickly. Living with the Land is a behind-the-scenes tour of sustainable agriculture. Those cucumbers help feed guests at Sunshine Seasons and Garden Grill. Jumping out disrupts the attraction for everyone and can damage the plants. If you drop something or want a souvenir from the ride, wait until the end and ask a cast member. And yes, the woman reportedly faced consequences. Though Disney doesn't publicize bans, this kind of behavior can lead to removal and trespass warnings. Number 4. Biting a deputy and stuff. Halloween night 2024 brought a bizarre encounter at Epcot. 24-year-old Alex Amalzik tried to open a restricted backstage door on the monorail platform. When confronted, she claimed she couldn't breathe, struck a medic in the face, and then wandered deeper into the closed park. Deputy James Waters attempted to handcuff her, but she resisted. As he maneuvered her to the ground, she bit his hand, causing abrasions. Both ended up in the hospital. Amalzik was arrested and charged with trespassing, resisting an officer, and battery on a law enforcement officer. The kicker? The deputy who arrested her later faced unrelated domestic violence charges, leading to questions about whether he could testify in her case. But let's be clear, going into restricted areas, then biting a deputy is not a valid strategy for avoiding Disney jail. Backstage areas are strictly off limits for safety. Behind those doors are maintenance equipment, ride control rooms, and service roads. If you ever feel unwell or need assistance, ask a cast member. Disney has first aid locations in each park staffed by nurses who can help with everything from dehydration to blisters. Ignoring instructions or assaulting staff will get you escorted out and may result in criminal charges. And please, keep your teeth to yourself, too. We're only partially through our list and things are already wild. What do you think so far? Well, the next stories involve underwear, narcotics, and a leap into Epcot's lagoon. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming. Number 5. Pants Optional Meltdown. On New Year's Day 2025, 24-year-old Sean Patrick McHugh decided that clothing was optional. According to an arrest report released months later, McHugh was allegedly intoxicated along the walkway between Epcot and Disney's Hollywood Studios. He attempted to urinate in the bushes, then stripped down to his underwear and destroyed a $1,000 merchandise kiosk. Disney security told him to leave, but he refused. So, deputies arrested him. He was charged with felony criminal mischief for destroying the kiosk, plus misdemeanors for disorderly intoxication and trespassing. It should go without saying, but please leave the streaking for sporting events. Actually, don't do it there either. If you're going to drink responsibly. If nature calls, there are plenty of bathrooms every few hundred feet in the parks. Use those. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, find a quiet spot like the gardens near the UK Pavilion or the shaded benches behind Spaceship Earth. There's no need to channel your inner caveman and break property. Number 6. Fairy dust at the security checkpoint. Our next story reads like a Florida man headline. Well, it is. On March 29, 2025, 44-year-old Dustin Lee Wallace and his son approached the Magic Kingdom bus loop security checkpoint. When the metal detector beeped at his back pocket, a security officer asked him to empty his pockets. The officer opened Wallace's bulky wallet and discovered a bag of white powder. A field test showed it was cocaine, and Wallace admitted he'd been using it for about a month due to work stress. He was arrested for possession and banned from all Disney property. Vice later reported that Wallace told deputies he tried to sneak the cocaine into the park inside his wallet. Walt Disney World's official rules ban all illegal substances and explicitly state that Disney can deny admission or remove a guest for unsafe or illegal behavior. His bond was set at $2,500, and he pleaded not guilty. Before you head to the parks, double-check yourself. The only powder you should bring is the powdered sugar on a Mickey beignet. Security lines may seem inconvenient, but they're there to protect guests. Magic Kingdom isn't the place to smuggle drugs. Different kind of magic. Number 7. Jumping off an Epcot bridge for a swim. Back to Epcot's World Showcase. In October 2023, a viral video showed a man climbing over the railing of a bridge and jumping into the water. He had to climb over metal barriers to get to the outside of the bridge, hesitated for a moment, then leapt. The video ends as he hits the water, but an offense like this almost certainly resulted in removal from the park. Epcot's bridges cross waterways used by friendship boats and maintenance vessels. Jumping into them is incredibly dangerous. You could be hit by a boat, entangled in underwater machinery, or injured by rocks. There are plenty of places to cool off in Epcot, like Club Cool or inside the Mexican Pavilion. But the World Showcase Lagoon is not one of them. If you're looking for a thrill, book a Wild Africa trek at Animal Kingdom or a surfing lesson at Typhoon Lagoon. And remember that there are cameras everywhere. Stunts like this might get you banned from the parks and immortalized on the internet for all the wrong reasons. We've seen it all, from the Animal Kingdom climber to the Epcot drug smuggler and the bridge jumper. But the drama isn't over. Up next, we're leaving the parks for the upscale shops of Disney Springs to witness a family feud that went completely off the rails. Imagine the most absurd public meltdown you can. Now, add vomit and a pair of sisters ending up in their underwear. You won't believe the fight that earned them a permanent ban. Don't touch that dial, because the next story is Disney legend. Number 8. Drunken Sisters. Jersey Shore-style brawl at Disney Springs. Perhaps the most outrageous brawl on Disney property happened in October 2021 and involved two sisters from New Jersey. An episode so absurd it was compared to an episode of Jersey Shore. After a night of dinner and one too many drinks at Disney Springs, the 29 and 31-year-old sisters began arguing while waiting for a ride home. The spat turned physical when the older sister accused the younger of being a bad mom and slapped her, prompting the younger sister to threaten a punch. What ensued was a drunken, clothes-shedding catfight right on the sidewalk outside the upscale shops. According to the sheriff's report and incredulous witness accounts, the women punched, slapped, and pulled each other's hair as they brawled, at one point tumbling into some bushes after slipping in a puddle of their own vomit during the struggle. By the time Orange County deputies arrived around 12:40 a.m., one sister was half naked, wearing only her underwear and sandals, and covered in dirt and puke, still yelling at her sibling. It's hard to imagine a less Disney-esque scene. Both women were arrested that night on misdemeanor battery and disorderly intoxication charges. Ultimately, neither pressed charges against the other. Sisterly love, perhaps, and prosecutors dropped the case. However, Disney wasn't as forgiving. The brawling sisters were promptly trespassed from all Walt Disney World property, effectively banned for life from the resort. This infamous incident, the naked, vomit-soaked sister fight, has become Disney legend and a favorite can you believe it story on social media. It's another crude reminder that too much alcohol and Disney do not mix, and that some family dramas are best resolved outside the gates of the Magic Kingdom. Number 9. The Tower of Terror Fast-Paced Fistfight of 2019. Even before the pandemic, guest misbehavior could reach cartoonish extremes. Case in point, the infamous Tower of Terror Fast Pass fiasco of July 2019. A 23-year-old woman from Chicago lost her cool after finding out her group's Fast Pass wasn't valid for the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror ride at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Enraged at being turned away, she began cursing out the cast member and even started pressing buttons on the ride's control podium in anger, some of which could affect the ride if activated. When the cast member, a 23-year-old woman, tried to stop her, the irate guest punched the poor cast member in the face, causing the worker minor injuries, swelling around their eye. The offender and her party then attempted to flee the park, but they didn't get far. Disney security caught up with them shortly afterward. In the end, the victim declined to press charges, so the tourist wasn't criminally prosecuted. However, Walt Disney World delivered its own justice. The woman was hit with a lifetime ban from all Disney properties for her violent outburst. She literally tried to fast-pass her way onto a ride and ended up fast-passing her way out of Disney World forever. The moral? No ride, not even Tower of Terror, is worth a permanent exile from the Magic Kingdom. Please, remember to keep it magical on your Disney vacation, and leave the fights to the pirates and princesses on stage. What a ride! We've covered everything from violent fistfights and backstage trespassing to cocaine smuggling and climbing the Tree of Life. You might think we've reached the peak of chaos, but we have a story still left over that is arguably the most bizarre of all because it happened when the parks were completely shut down. It takes the idea of escape to a ridiculous extreme, and it involves an entire abandoned island. Get ready for the wildest tale of a guest who saw the park closure not as a limit, but as an opportunity for a personal tropical adventure. This is the unbelievable true story of the Disney Island castaway, a guest who thought he'd found his own private paradise. Number 10. discovered camping out on Discovery Island. In a bizarre episode during the COVID-19 park shutdown, one man turned Disney World's dormant property into his own personal paradise. In April 2020, with the parks closed, a 42-year-old Alabama man sneaked onto Discovery Island, an abandoned Disney island in Bay Lake, and camped out there for several days. When Orange County deputies eventually found him, the man claimed he didn't know it was restricted and thought he was just hanging out in a tropical paradise, despite the numerous no trespassing signs and fences he bypassed. In fact, police had been searching for him using helicopters and loudspeakers. He later said he never heard them because he was asleep in his makeshift island camp. Needless to say, he was arrested and charged with trespassing once discovered. According to the sheriff's report, the hapless camper was also warned not to return to any Disney properties. We can safely assume he earned himself a swift ban from Disney World as a result. The story of the Disney Island castaway quickly went viral, giving everyone a chuckle during a grim year. Memo to adventurous souls: if you're looking for a tropical island getaway, try a Disney cruise. Don't stealth camp on Discovery Island. Besides, that's probably something I would do. Behind the scenes, how Disney keeps chaos in check. Disney parks welcome tens of thousands of visitors daily. Statistically, some misbehavior is bound to happen, yet you'll rarely witness mayhem during your visit. That's no accident. Disney's operations are meticulously designed to prevent chaos and address issues the moment they spark. From high-tech surveillance to a robust security team, every detail is planned so that people being people never disrupt the magic. Disney security measures blend seamlessly into the parks, ensuring any disruption is handled swiftly and discreetly. An extensive network of hidden cameras keeps watch over crowds, and a layered security presence, including uniformed guards and plainclothes officers who look like regular tourists, is always in motion. As Disney itself notes, some safety measures are visible and others are purposefully unseen. Cast members are thoroughly trained in conflict de-escalation and know how to quietly call for backup at the first sign of trouble, often rerouting nearby guests to safety rather than confront issues directly. In practice, this means if someone acts out, security can swoop in and escort them to a backstage area within minutes, with no dramatic confrontation, no disruption to other guests. Most incidents are resolved behind the scenes so efficiently that the general park population never even realizes anything happened. This proactive behind-curtain vigilance is why we don't see wild chaos running amok at Disney. The company invests heavily in training, technology, and team coordination to intervene at the slightest hint of trouble. The result is a safe, well-managed environment where mass pandemonium simply isn't on the itinerary. Reassuring proof that Disney's magic is carefully protected, even when we don't see it happening. If there's one thing these tales prove, it's that Disney World is a microcosm of humanity. With over 50 million visitors a year, you're bound to see some questionable decisions. But the magic endures because most guests follow the rules, respect cast members, and care for one another. So when you visit, be the reason someone's trip is better, not worse. Now it's your turn. What's the dumbest thing you've ever seen a guest do at Disney? Drop your story in the comments. I read them all and love hearing your experiences. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Disney's dumbest moments, give this video a like and share it with a fellow Disney fan. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode of Castle Compass. Your adventure is just beginning.